Welcome back to Metro Morning Live. 15 minutes now past the hour. It's time for our segment we call You and Your Money. And joining me is Jim Griffith of Griffith Financial. Good morning, Jim. You doing all right this morning?
I'm doing good, Rob. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Not that cold this morning, so we're good.
You know what,
we're in
man?
good shape.
We got to get used to this weather. It comes and it goes.
Absolutely.
We just work with it.
Well, Jim, it's tax season, of course, and we're going to talk this morning about how safe are your tax secrets. What do people need to know about that?
Well, the first thing people need to know is that identity theft is becoming the #1 crime in America. The information that you have on your tax return is extremely confidential, so you really need to guard that with extreme vigilance. The April 17th deadline to file for your taxes is fastly approaching. Mm-hmm. So the #1 thing you want to do is keep that confidential information out of the hands of those that will do you harm.
Wow. What kind of information is on the tax return?
Well, that's on your tax return, you pretty much have all of the critical information. You've got private facts about your family, mm-hmm. your Social Security number, income, investments, family relationships. If you got information there about your business, if you have if you're a business owner, and more. So, extremely confidential information. And it's the primary target for scammers as well as sophisticated hackers. Mm-hmm. They will target your tax preparer mm-hmm. to get that information. As you know, this is becoming more and more prevalent. If that information is stolen, the tax season could be more costly for you than just writing a check to the IRS.
Well, what laws are in place to protect you if, in case this information is stolen?
Yeah, that's a good question, Rob. Congress has actually put some laws in place that make getting access to this information without authorization a felony. And what that comprises is government employees can't even disclose your information to other government employees mm-hmm. without your authorization. The same applies to people that handle your information, whether it be your tax preparer mm-hmm. or just another individual. The penalty for this can be as much as 5 years in jail, a $5,000 fine. Mm-hmm. You've got criminal, civil charges that can be pressed, along with damages as well as punitive damages. So that gives you some protection, if you will, if your information is compromised.
Wow. Well, where do most of these leaks come from, Jim?
That's a good question. Most of them.
You wouldn't think that your information that you send your taxes in would get leaked. What is this?
Well, most of them come from actually, the primary target is a tax preparer, okay. #1. And a lot of the information, when you get to that tax preparer, you've got a person in there with a photocopy machine that's copying information. Okay. That's a potential hazard.
Wow.
And as well as professional scammers who come and hackers who come in. Mm-hmm. So what you want to do in that particular case is make sure that you have a conversation with the people that are doing your taxes as far as how they handle your information and what their security protocols are.
And Jim, how should you secure your personal records?
If you're going to secure those personal records, if you're at home, you want to make sure you don't leave that information sitting around in the desk or on a computer because it is not secure. You have family members that are nosy. You've got guests that may be coming in as well as intruders. So you want to make sure you keep that information on lock and key if you're at home.
Wow, and I just left mine right on top of the table this morning, Jim.
Well, if you get an intruder, let me text this intruder for you.
Well, Jim, when you look at tax information, how is that handled by businesses and organizations?
Yeah, businesses and organizations today are actually requiring you to disclose more and more financial information. You have a situation where that is the case. Mm-hmm. What you want to do is, #1, as I mentioned earlier, find out what their security protocols are. Mm-hmm. Provide them with the very minimum amount of information, mm-hmm. and make sure that once they're completed, they've completed what they need to do with that information to return that information to you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've heard a lot of great information this morning from you, Jim. What is the takeaway for everyone to remember? Yeah,
the takeaway that everyone needs to remember is that today more and more organizations are getting data breaches. You know, last year we had the big one with Equifax. Mm-hmm. We had data breaches twice with Equifax. We had Target. We have a situation that's going on currently with Facebook. I think Mark Zuckerberg mm-hmm. is testifying the day before Congress. Mm-hmm. And so even in situations where you're applying for financial aid, going to the YMCA to enroll your child in a program, they're asking for that information. So the main thing to do is be very diligent, make sure you keep that information secure. If it's on a computer, take it off that computer. Don't leave it sitting on top of the table.
Right, exactly.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you use that, I think you'll pretty much have that information safeguarded. But the main thing to remember is that hacking and data breaches are going to become more and more prevalent. I think we spoke about this a little bit last year. And as you know, we went from the Equifax situation, now we're all the way into the election and the Facebook situation. So it's the main concern.
All right, Jim. Well, tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
You can get us at, you can send us a text and get our mobile app and just send that to GFS1. And the number to send that to would be 36260. You can also contact us at 800-361-6542, and we'll be more than happy to get back with you.
All right. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate all the information, sir.
Not a problem. Just
All right.
get those tax returns off the table.
I sure will, Jim.
All right.
Stay with us when we come back. We'll tell you about a big art exhibit that's taking place here on the campus of Jackson State. That's next. We're back in a moment.
Ingalls Shipbuilding is hiring ship fitters, pipe welders, structural welders, and